Hi friends, it's Victor Costa, and welcome to the Daily Lift. I hope you're having an outstanding day, and I hope today's podcast makes it even better for you. This week, I said to myself, I'd like this to be an extraordinary week. I had no plan, no expectations of how that was going to come. I just wanted it to be so. I wanted it to be a week to remember. And I wanted to sort of let go and let that message get out there in the universe and just see what came back without necessarily trying, without pushing myself to allow or pushing myself to make anything happen, but rather allow something wonderful to happen. And by being open and by focusing on the allowance of things and to let really cool and wonderful and extraordinary things happen, I was able to feel much more relaxed, feel as though I know what I want. I want something cool to happen. Now I'm going to watch for evidence of that. And by being open, of course, you adopt a more relaxed demeanor. And when you are relaxed, you start attracting very interesting things and very interesting people. And so this week, I wanted something extraordinary to happen, and not one thing extraordinary happened, but many things. One of which was meeting Coach Jim Johnson. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Coach Johnson, but Coach Johnson was a basketball coach, a high school basketball coach, who was inspired to put in an autistic young man named Jason McElwain in the last minutes of the final basketball game of the season. Now, you may have seen this video years ago. It's a video of a young man who is shooting three-point shots from anywhere in the court, and the crowd is going absolutely insane. Jason was the team manager, but he practiced just as hard. He would take every opportunity to work on the game of basketball, was always there. He was inspiring the other players. He was getting them water, getting them towels. He was part of the team, but in a very different way, not from the perspective of a player. But he had a very special connection with Coach Johnson. And in the last several minutes of a high school basketball game, Coach Johnson pointed to Jason and basically allowed him to come into the game. And what happened next was something that you will absolutely find remarkable. He actually shot 6 three-point shots within a several minute span, and he was just unable to miss. It's a remarkable sight. It's a remarkable setting. Jason was diagnosed with autism at age 2, and although he was different in many ways, when he was on the basketball court or involved in basketball, he was beyond enthusiastic, beyond just a manager. He was an inspiration to the team. And when Coach Jim Johnson called his number, he had no idea that Jason was going to perform this way. I'm not so sure that Jason did either. But the conspiracy of events, the coincidence of this happening made them both quite famous, and for 2 reasons. One, for the ability that we saw come out of Jason, but also for their relationship and their kindness, and Coach Johnson's way of recognizing and rewarding Jason for his loyalty, for his inspiration, for everything, but not just so much rewarding him, but rewarding him at the right time. Because this could have happened, he could have put him in another game, and this didn't have to happen, but there was a readiness that both were available to. Both were ready for greatness on that day. And Coach Johnson recognized his greatness as well. as did Jason. And it's a remarkable story. And I got a chance to speak to Coach Johnson directly. And just to I remember when I was watching the video, I was just dumbstruck at the confluence of things that had to happen in order for this moment to be enjoyed by millions of people and change Jason's life forever and change Coach Johnson's life forever. A relationship and a friendship born out of respect and kindness and hard work. And so what this reminded me of was all of the work that Jason did in private to be ready for his special moment to shine. And he didn't know if that moment was going to come up, and he never even knew that he was going to have that moment, but he was prepared. And the recognition of a very highly intuitive person in Coach Johnson to call upon him at the right time, knowing that there had to be something special in the air. There was something unique about that day. And so the question is, will you be ready when your number is called? I asked myself the same thing that day, and I will from now on. All of the work and the things that you do and the things that you aspire to, even though there may not be evidence of what's happening right now in your life, of something that you want, will you be ready when your number is called for whatever that thing is? Will all the work become cumulative and amount to a remarkable moment in time that changes everything for you? You just have to be prepared. And so whether this story reminds you that you have to continue to work on your craft even if nobody is watching, whether it reminds you that there is beauty in conspiracy in this universe, or beauty in the confluence of events, or the congruity of things about how everyone gets their just desserts if you just do the right thing, or whether it's to be open to the ideas of remarkable things happening even out of days that seem like they are going to be quite unremarkable. I would like you to have in mind all of those things and have all those things at once become a part of your vibration to remind you that amazing things can happen on days that seem like there might not be anything happening. It's just a great story, and I wanted to remind you of it. If you want to Google it and see Jason McElwain, you will see that he has accomplished many, many things since that day, but this was definitely the pivot point for a young man, was also the pivot point for a coach who had been coaching for 25 years. So salute to Coach Johnson and Jason McElwain. This is Victor Costa signing off for the Daily Lift. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Be well.